On this edition of the Left Bench TV, we've got updates on the electric Maryland women's basketball team,
a look around Big Ten football, and an analysis into Maryland's chances for a bowl game.
And as always, the latest with all things Maryland sports. The Left Bench TV starts now.
Hello and welcome back to the Left Bench TV, your sideline source for all things Maryland sports. I'm Stephen Mehling.
And I'm Katie Maher. Between the start of basketball season and the dwindling down of college football, the Terps have had a lot going on here in College Park, so we have a lot to get into.
But first, we're going to start at the Xfinity Center, where number 6 Maryland women's basketball picked up a huge non-conference win to improve to 6-0 on the year. Our very own Kevin McNulty was at the game Sunday, and he has more from the sideline. Kevin?
It wasn't easy with Katie Benson and Faith Masonis inactive due to illness, but Maryland women's basketball was still able to take down the number 6 team in the country here at Xfinity on Sunday.
Maryland trailed after the first quarter, but in the second, the Terps outscored Baylor 25-14. Then this sequence that went Owusu layup, Owusu steal, and then finally a Sellers 3 put their squad up by 7 heading into the break. And in the third quarter, the lead ballooned all the way up to 13 points. But Baylor refused to go away. Melissa Smith and Jordan Lewis, who combined for 59 points on the afternoon, led the charge back and shrunk Maryland's lead to just 3 with under 2 minutes to play. But Angel Reese, playing with 4 fouls, said hold it right there with this layup off the glass and won. Then on the next Maryland possession, Owusu misses a layup, giving Baylor a chance to tie and send the game to overtime. But it's off the mark, and the Terps escape with a huge non-conference win on their home court.
After taking down number 6 here in College Park on Sunday, Maryland will have a go at number 5 NC State and number 7, the defending national champion Stanford Cardinal, in the Bahamas over Thanksgiving weekend.
Thanks, Kevin. We knew that after last year's disappointing loss to Texas in the Sweet 16, Brenda Frese wanted her team to play postseason caliber games early on in the year. The first of which was this one against Baylor. Here's what Frese had to say about the Terps' uber-competitive non-conference slate.
I mean, I felt like with everyone coming back this year, I didn't want to be surprised in March, and it felt like, you know, a little bit that we needed better competition to prepare us. I mean, it was for most of us their first NCAA tournament, and we didn't get as many of those games because of COVID and teams being out.
Now, Katie, obviously, it was a really impressive win against Baylor, and one of, the Terps' top players, Ashley Owusu, was just named co-Big Ten Player of the Week.
That is well-deserved. I was at the Baylor game on Sunday. Xfinity was going crazy. They were loving all the Ashley Owusu action. She was balling out, so very well-deserved for Ashley Owusu.
And it was actually really impressive as well because they were without Katie Benson, who, as we know, is a threat from behind the arc.
Oh, my gosh. Girl can shoot three-pointers all over the place. And she's got an illness. I really hope she's feeling better. She probably has whatever's going around College Park right now that everyone's got. So best wishes to Katie. Hope she's back in time for those Bahama games.
Yeah, and for Terp fans, they can only hope that men's basketball could start to shoot a little bit better from behind the arc because I heard they didn't really have a great week this week.
We all know they've been struggling behind the arc. Now, while Frese and company remain undefeated in the young season, the same cannot be said for Mark Turgeon's squad. After falling 71-66 to George Mason on Wednesday, they needed a statement win to prove why they were ranked 20th in the country. And while we wouldn't exactly call a 2-point win against Hofstra on Friday a statement win. Our Lauren HAFFNER was at the Xfinity Center with the recap. Lauren?
I was here at the Xfinity Center when Maryland took on Hofstra and secured a 69-67 win after a close game.
Hofstra's defense came out strong. With the help of this Ian Martinez dunk, the Terps were able to gain a 3-point lead at the end of the first half. The rotation was adjusted by Coach Turgeon for the second half, as starting center Kudus Wahab did not play the final 20 minutes of the game. Dante Scott advanced the score after a pass from Fats Russell resulted in this monster dunk. The final seconds were filled with suspense as the score was tied. Eric Ayala blocked a 3-point shot attempt from a Hofstra guard when Martinez went after the ball and was hit in the face, which resulted in a foul. Martinez made both free throws and put the Terps up by 2. Julian Reese became an obstacle for Hofstra as he blocked each inbound pass. A steal from Fats Russell resulted in a win for Maryland. The roar of the crowd filled the Xfinity Center as fans cheered on the team.
The Terps will be in the Bahamas for Thanksgiving as they take on Richmond for the Baha Mar Hoops Championship. Back to you.
Thanks, Lauren. That's right, the Terps will soon be in much nicer weather than we're having here in Maryland this week. But they'll return home for the Big Ten ACC Challenge on December 1st. Now that game also marks the annual Gold Rush and will honor the legacy of Len Bias, who would have turned 58 last week and was inducted into the College Basketball Hall of Fame on Sunday. The first 4,000 students in attendance will also receive replica Bias jerseys.
Now Maryland football capped off its home slate on Saturday, hosting then-ranked number 8 Michigan. And let's just say the Terps did not even come close to pulling off the upset that they were looking for. Michigan's offense was as advertised. Quarterback Cade McNamara completed 21 of 28 passes, threw for 259 yards and 2 touchdowns in just 3 quarters. Running back Hassan Haskins had 78 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns for the Wolverines. Only 2 Terps managed to find the end zone on the day, the first being Carlos Carrier in the 3rd quarter, and Talia Tagovailoa soon followed with his own rushing touchdown. Tagovailoa looked a lot more mobile in this game. Even though the Terps suffered a brutal 59-18 loss, the one bright spot was that the Hawaiian native stamped his name in Maryland football's record books, with his 287th pass completion in the 3rd quarter being the most in program history. The losses pushed Maryland to a sense of urgency, with its last hope for bowl eligibility falling to the Terps' final game against Rutgers.
Speaking for my mentality, I want to get this done for our seniors. I feel for them. I feel like I'm in that class with them about to leave. It's just a feeling that I have. I want to get it done for them so very badly. But I just have to do my part as a leader and just make sure that I continue to improve myself first. And then once I keep improving myself, which I am still improving, it'll rub off and it'll become a domino effect throughout our entire team. So I just got to do my 111 and make sure that I'm right, so I can be able to positively impact my other teammates and make sure they're right as well. So.
The Terps will head to Piscataway on Saturday in hopes of earning their first bowl game since 2016. But the Scarlet Knights are also 5-6 on the season. So with both teams fighting for a bowl, this is a win. This is a must-win, on both ends.
You know, Stephen, I know that the Michigan-Ohio State game rivalry is up for renewal on Saturday, but come on, 2 relatively newer Big Ten schools fighting for a bowl game that neither of them have really gotten a lot of in the past few years. That promises for some pretty good action.
Yeah, for sure. We basically already figured out that Ohio State's the best team in the Big Ten right now. That's no question about it. But, Thanksgiving weekend could provide for some good football on Saturday.
Oh, yeah. I'll be watching some football with my turkey leftovers. I don't know about you, but...
Oh, for sure. Now, speaking of important games, when we come back, we've got recaps of how 2 Maryland teams recently fared in their NCAA tournaments.
And we've also got a look around Big Ten football, and as always, your top 5 plays, Terp of the Week, and Pro Terp. Don't go anywhere.
Oh, sweetie. Okay, you know what? Let's take off his sweatshirt. Get rid of pictures of him. You don't have to look at him. Goodbye, Dave.
Mom, you don't understand. He's tagged in 400 of my posts.
I can cut out tags.
No, that's not how it works.
What is a tag?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care would love to share their first with you.
Maryland field hockey punched its ticket to its 20th Final Four in program history after winning 2 tourney games at home against Virginia and Syracuse. But their time in Ann Arbor did not turn out the way they would have hoped. With a championship game appearance on the line, Missy Maharg's crew took on number 9 Liberty, and this one took 2 overtimes. The first half was a defensive standstill, but coming out of halftime, Liberty struck first. Jill Bolton got the Flames on top, and a later goal put Liberty up 2-0. BB Dograt, though, shot one in before the end of the 3rd, but going into the 4th, it was Liberty on top, 2-1. With a little more than 5 minutes left in regulation, Hope Rose cashed in off a penalty stroke to knot the score and send this one into overtime. With less than 2 minutes from a penalty shootout, Charlotte Van Holt sent her team to the title game, with Maryland exiting in upset fashion 3-2. Now, it's no secret that the Big Ten has dominated the field hockey playing field this year, and Northwestern actually ended up taking down Liberty in the championship to be crowned national champions for the first time in program history. But, Stephen, I hear that we had some news coming out of Maryland field hockey on Monday.
That's right, Katie. Brooke DeBurdine, BB Donra, and Hope Rose were all named to the National Field Hockey Coaches Association's All-Mid-Atlantic Region First Team. And Amber DeBurdine and Juliana Tornetta were named to the second team.
Wow, after making a heartbreaking first-round exit in the Big Ten tournament in the spring, it's nice to see Missy Maharg and her squad make a comeback. They deserve it. They're a great group of people.
And speaking about first-round tournament exits, that's exactly what Sasha Surofsky and the Terps men's soccer team did not expect going into their first-round game against LIU. And although Thursday marked a milestone for Coach Surofsky, a late-game stunner would be the season-ending blow to his squad. First 88 minutes of this one was scoreless, even though Maryland outshot LIU 5-0 in the first half. The game really came down to the final 6 minutes, when the Terps failed to connect on 3 of their 11 corner kicks, including a golden opportunity header from Jason Russell-Rowe that was saved to keep the game tied at 0. And only 90 seconds later, Assam Ben Fall struck this one with his right foot to give the Sharks the lead with over just a minute to play. And the unbelievable shot completely took the wind out of the Terps' sails and sunk their season much earlier than they had hoped.
Stephen, one impressive stat about this game, though, was that it was Sasha Surofsky's, the head coach, 29th appearance in an NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that's really impressive. Coach Surofsky has really had the Maryland men's soccer team. They're at a high bar, really, and, it's kind of disappointing as a fan to see him go out in the first round, but, they definitely put in a lot of hard work this season.
Yeah, the guy's a historic head coach. I mean, he has the most appearances in the NCAA tournament out of any coach in men's soccer in college, so, they'll be back.
For sure.
Now, one fall team that's still got some regular season action going is Maryland volleyball. Adam Hughes and company took the road to the state of Illinois this weekend and pulled off an exciting victory over Northwestern in 5 sets. But they fell in a quick loss to number 24 Illinois in 3 sets. The Terps couldn't hold out against the Fighting Illini. They only held the lead once on the night when they scored on the opening point of the first set. However, the Terps still racked up numerous stats with a team high of 11 digs from Paula Necha-Peruka. Sydney Dowler ended the match with 23 assists. Sam Sire accounted for 11 kills, 6 digs, and a block, while Raynell Jones finished with 3. This loss now puts the Terps at 19-11 on the season and 7-11 in conference play. The Terps will be back home for Thanksgiving weekend to host their final 2 matches of the season, the first against Ohio State on Friday and the second against Minnesota on Saturday.
Now we're nearing the end of the football season, and there's one thing on everyone's mind at this time of year, Katie. Who's going to a bowl?
You're absolutely right, Stephen. And with the Big Ten being as stacked and competitive as it is, we've got a lot of Big Ten teams headed to the postseason. Ohio State is now the number 2 team in the country after shaking down now 12th ranked Michigan State. And that's no exaggeration. The Spartans didn't get on the board until the 4th quarter. And the Buckeyes took this one 56-7. Now I just can't picture a college football playoff bracket that doesn't have OSU in it. That offense is seriously something else.
Oh, he went straight into the Wisconsin VO. Yeah. I didn't know he went straight into the Wisconsin VO. I thought we were coming back on 2 for a second.
Oh. No, we can keep just rolling.
All right, you want it? Yeah, we can go.
Yeah, no, that was right.
So for the entirety of this around the Big Ten, assume you're live on camera 2, and I'm going to cut around either between you and the video, whatever feels natural.
Okay.
So just, you'll either be on 2 or you won't be seen.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So let's go from, we can go from the top of Wisconsin then, logically. Yeah. So go down to B9, Shane.
No, you were right.
Yeah, B9. All right. Just count me in whenever you're ready, Matt. "100% right, Katie. Now, over in Madison, Nebraska almost gave now number 18 Wisconsin a run for its money. But the Badgers maintained a close but steady lead and got this one 35-28. Wisconsin will be headed to a bowl game, but the 3-8 Cornhuskers won't be so lucky.
Now, Purdue has been quite the interesting team to watch this fall, best known for pulling off upsets against Iowa and Michigan State. And this weekend, the Boilermakers advanced to 7-4 on the season after taking down Northwestern 32-14. The Wildcats are 3-8 with no hopes for a bowl there, but Purdue, they're going to a bowl.
Now, number 17 Iowa crushed any hope Illinois had of reaching 6 wins this season, as they took down the Fighting Illini 33-23.
And now, look, we got to talk about Rutgers because, hey, like we said, this Saturday is the winner-take-all game for the Terps and the Scarlet Knights. Now, fortunately for Maryland, Rutgers was crushed by the Nittany Lions. And I mean, like, crushed. Like, they did not score once, down 28-0, crushed.
Yeah, okay, that's encouraging for Maryland fans. Both teams are 5-6 on the season and 2-5 in conference play. But we do remember Maryland fared much better against Penn State earlier in the month.
That is very right. They did.
Now, we are going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll be crowning your Terp of the Week, Pro Terp, and ranking top 5 plays.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Left Bench TV.
We've been keeping you waiting all show long, and it's about time we head to our top 5 plays.
Up first at number 5, we've got Carlos Carrier finding the end zone on his senior day. Carrier has been a surprise standout in the second half of Maryland football season, and you gotta love to see a senior scoring on senior day.
Absolutely. Maryland might have lost that game, but that was a cool moment to watch for Carlos. Up next at number 4, it's Angel Reese with a powerful layup, and she adds one more point just for good measure. Now let's watch that again because she's been balling out in this early season.
Yeah, and then at number 3, it's the moment that had all of Xfinity Center fired up heading into halftime. Ian Martinez finds his first dunk of the season and puts his team up 34-31 at the half.
That was an awesome moment to watch. I was at that game, and the crowd went crazy. And at number 2, it's the rushing touchdown we've all been waiting to see from Maryland's QB, Talia Tungavailoa. You just can't deny the fire this guy brings to Capital One Field. And to make it even better, he ran in the 2-point conversion right after this. It's so fun to see when Leah gets mobile.
It's so great to watch Leah out of the pocket and making things happen. But now the moment you have been waiting for. Your number 1 play of the week is the monster dunk from none other than Dante Scott. It's so good we have to watch it again in slow-mo. Maryland blocks Hofstra. Fats Russell runs it down, passes it to Scott, who brings it home. There's nothing else we could have made our top play of the week.
Now she made our top 5 plays, and now we're crowning her Terp of the Week. Angel Reese has been a force to be reckoned with so far this season. Against Baylor on Sunday, Reese notched 17 points, 9 rebounds, and was 7 and 11 from the field. She's been grabbing double-doubles consistently too, posting 23 points, 12 rebounds, 5 steals, and 2 blocks against UNC Wilmington on Thursday. Who else could we have picked for our Terp of the Week?
Now, while the Buffalo Bills defense got lit up for 5 touchdowns by Colts rusher Jonathan Taylor on Sunday, our guy Stephon Diggs had himself a day on the other side of the ball, and he's this week's Pro Terp. If you had Diggs in fantasy football like I know Katie does, you should have had a good Sunday. Diggs may have only had 4 receptions for 23 yards against Indianapolis, but found the end zone twice, doing his part to at least try to help his team get the win. Now, Katie, although Angel Reese was our Terp of the Week, I feel like we have to extend an honorable mention to our very own Nathan Schwartz. Now, Nathan and his team of left bench reporters have taken the UMD flag football scene by storm. They won their last game 40-0, and Nathan threw for 6 touchdowns. The Dirty Turtles will be back in playoff action coming up, so be sure to check out their Twitter page for more information on that.
You know, I think we should start a flag football team, Steven.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I'm just wondering why they named it the Dirty Turtles and they didn't name it after the left bench.
I know. There's so many of them. I think I would make a really mean quarterback, though. I got a good arm.
For sure, but I mean, I feel like I could be like a slot receiver. Maybe I'm kind of too short.
Weren't you a kicker in high school, though?
Hey, we don't got to relive the glory days like that. But that will just about do it for this edition of the Left Bench TV. Make sure to keep up with all of our coverage on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at the Left Bench.
We wish you and yours a very happy Thanksgiving, and we'll be back here in a couple weeks to catch you up on all things basketball and even more.
We'll see you next time.